Senate Bill 750. Senator Craven will give us the details of the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon, committee members. House Bill 750 is before you addressing ESG factors. I know this is a very popular bill everybody's okay with. It will prohibit state entities from creating or using environmental, social, and governance criteria or economically targeted investment requirements when making employment decisions. There's also a component here of the state pension fund. Treasurer's office has worked with us to get that right. So commend the bill before you today and appreciate your support. Thank you.
All right. What were you saying? Okay. Is there any discussion?
Hand back here.
All right, Senator Marcus.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I don't know that I will be able to change the bill sponsor's mind on this. I think we talked about a similar bill or your version of the bill in this committee a while ago, but I just want to point out that it's my understanding that the business community opposes this bill. They don't want this sort of, it feels like a culture war issue trying to micromanage how businesses manage money, et cetera. I think it's clear that businesses will continue to base, and investment decisions will continue to be based primarily on financial factors, but that it's a mistake that if we don't also recognize that issues such as climate change and social justice and even things like product recall issues, energy transition and security are relevant to companies' long-term financial health and should be considered when we make investment decisions. So I think this is a mistake to get into these sort of culture wars. This is ESG investing has been with us for a very long time, and it's part of capitalism, and it's not a bad thing. So I oppose this bill. I don't know whether there's anybody here from the audience that wants to speak to this. Maybe people who do it on a regular basis, but I hope we'll pause to hear from them if they're here.
Yeah, Senator Marcus, I appreciate that comment. I would like to say yes. I have had multiple conversations with a lot of different folks from the business community. No one has shared anything that you have just described. I think we're all on the same page where we should be with this. And all this bill does is ensure there's no discrimination out there against anything within our employee pension funds, protecting our retirees, and additionally, kind of talking through in that same wavelength, yes, it is capitalism when you're pursuing it for the highest rate of return. And this bill does not prohibit you doing that with the ESG fund if it is yielding the highest rate of return. Thank you.
For the comments for the committee,
Yes, I have a question.
Senator Robinson.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. So, Senator Craven, when you talk about economically targeted investments, would you talk a little bit to me about that and the need for this, or where is it targeted?
Yeah, so thank you, Senator Robinson. We are actually just trying to be preventative in ensuring that we're protecting the retirees pension fund, that we're making sure there's no discrimination on state contracts, and that there's no discrimination in regards to state employment.
Okay, so are you just talking about in terms of how the investments are held, and are you trying to change what is currently done in terms of making sure that it is diversified? Because to me, this means that you want to make sure that there's no diversity in terms of including people. And we are an inclusive state. So tell me what you're talking about, because what I've seen in other states, you know, really goes beyond what you say here, what you're saying.
Yes, ma'am. What I will tell you is this does not rebalance the existing portfolio. It would certainly allow the Treasurer's office to invest in the ESG fund if that fund was the highest yielding rate of return for the shareholders and the state of North Carolina.
Okay, well, sometimes, you know, when we talk about rate of return and the highest,
While protecting the principal.
in order to make sure that we are including the diverse groups in our state, it's necessary oftentimes to develop a different kind of formula so we can make sure that we are not using the same company, the same investment group who gives us the highest yield, yet we're ignoring those that offer some advantages, some opportunities for some of the other funds that are run by women, minorities, etc. So is it your intent to exclude those in this
That would
bill?
not be the intent of this bill and does not address any of that in this bill. Thank you.
Senator Britt, I believe you were next.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I believe this bill is almost identical, or pretty much identical to one we've already debated through this chamber exhaustively and voted out of this chamber. I move for favorable report at this time.
All right. Still like to recognize Senator Lowe.
As I remember, this was an investment bill and had to do with how the treasurer invested funds. And the easiest example I can come up with, because it's not the case now, is investing in Cougarans. That would have been a social investment that a lot of people would have had a problem with about 25 years ago. They don't have a problem with it now because South Africa has changed, but we tried to divest from South Africa. That's what this bill addresses, that kind of investing. Is that what I'm understanding?
I'll let you answer that.
Or am I taking you
I'll be honest
too
with you, Senator
far
Lowe, I
back?
do not remember that point in time, but I'm going to go with yes because I know where
I
you're
think
going. I'm
some of-
trying to help. Yes, sir.
Okay. That's all I'm trying to understand.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. And Sam Watts is here from the Treasurer's Office if Sam would like to share anything.
If you will state your name, please.
Sam Watts, North Carolina Department of State Treasurer. Are we on? Okay. Just wanted to thank the members of the General Assembly who worked so diligently on this with the Treasurer's Office to make sure that the language reflects a neutral fiduciary standard. The goal we're trying to get to is that no one should dictate how our retirees' money is invested for a political purpose. Whether it's for the left or the right, we want a neutral fiduciary standard because we don't have red money or blue money in the Treasurer's Office. We only have green, and we want more of it for our beneficiaries and retirees. And that's what this bill does. So Treasurer Falwell wants me to let you know he appreciates your work and endorses the legislation. Thanks, particularly wanted to thank Senator Craven, Overcash, and Daniel for their work on the Senate version, which is identical to the bill in front of you, and Representative Carnes, Representative Balkin, who got dragged along the way in a surprise in the House, and Representative Neil Jackson and Jason Sain and Destin Hall as well. So we just wanted to say thank you and let you know that this is not a bill that promotes a political agenda from either side on any topic. This is a bill that gives us the tools that we believe we need for a neutral fiduciary standard. Thank you.
Are there any further comments from the audience? I think Senator Perry initially moved forward a favorable report to the House Bill 750 with referral to pensions, retirement, and aging. All those in favor of the bill, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Bill so carried. Any other? All right. Yeah. Committee is adjourned. Thank you.